Hey, thanks for taking the time to check us out. I'm going to give you a full blueprint on how to make passive income in real estate without actually owning any real estate. I'm going to give you some gems on how to scale your portfolio 10 times faster too, so if you can bear with me for 6 minutes. No secrets here. This is how to make passive income with short-term rentals. And short-term rentals are basically vacation rentals. A furnished home rented out on a nightly basis. So think of it like this. If you've ever stayed in a hotel, then you've stayed in a short-term rental. If you haven't heard of Airbnb by now, I don't know where you've been. But have no fear, I'm going to get you up to speed. I'm going to show you what Airbnb is, how it compares to conventional real estate investing, and how you can use platforms like Airbnb to easily generate 6 figures. A little about Airbnb. It's not that new. They started in 2009. 2 million people stay in Airbnb every night. They have over 5 million listings and are basically all over the world. In case you were wondering how they work, they're a short-term rental marketplace. Instead of copying sites like Expedia and Travelocity, Airbnb works more like Uber. It acts as a middleman between those who want to rent out space and those who are looking for a space to rent. Get it? You're offered somebody's home as a place to stay instead of a hotel. And Airbnb doesn't own any of those properties. They just list them on the site. So how do you make money? Well, to be honest, it's not that different from conventional real estate investing. A lot of the same rules apply. Your property still has to be attractive and in a good location. But instead of renting to one person every month for an entire year, you rent it to multiple people through sites like Airbnb. So real quick, one person renting this house for $1,500 a month is paying an average of $50 a night. $50 a day times 30 days is $1,500 a month every month. Now, the same house as a short-term rental on Airbnb is rented an average of 20 days a month, but those travelers are paying $130 a night, the average hotel stay. So $130 a day times 20 days is about $2,600. If you care to do your own math, that's about $13,000 difference a year. If you got that concept down so far, let's compare the two to see how quick we can get our money back. Let's assume we find a sweet deal on an investment property for $100,000. Investment properties require 20% down, so that's $20,000. This does not include closing costs, home improvements, or any other repairs for one property. Charge a tenant $1,500 to cover your mortgage and expenses, and you're on track to break even in 3 years. Guys, listen. If you find a property that you can buy for $100,000 and rent it out for $1,500 a month, buy it, because deals like that are once in a lifetime, but I digress. Now let's say we decide to lease a property instead of buying it, using only half of what we would have spent trying to purchase it, so $10,000. And to keep things simple, we're also going to pay our landlord $1,500 a month. So we lease and furnish the property as a short-term rental and put it on Airbnb. That's one property producing $1,100 a month in profit, breaking even in 9 months, right? My favorite part outside of making my money back in 9 months is that we can repeat this process in less time each time we do it. I know that's a lot, but so it looks like this. 9 months from now, I have made my money back and I'm able to get my second property. Now I'm banking $2,200 a month. 4.5 months later, guess what? I've made my $10K back again, and now I can reinvest my profits into a third property. That's 3 properties profiting $3,300 a month. Now, 3 months later, since I'm profiting you see where I'm going with this, friends? This is how you make huge profits in real estate without having to buy it. It's called rental arbitrage. To make rental arbitrage super easy to understand, it's subleasing for a profit. So as you can see, it is very feasible to become an Airbnb millionaire by having multiple listings. Okay, so the secret is to have multiple listings. And without getting too technical, if you have a hotel in your area, you can have an Airbnb. All right, so let's take a quick recap on what we know so far. If you've ever rented an apartment, you already know half of what's required to make it work. You don't need to own property. You can rent. There's a lot more money in short-term rentals than leasing to a single long-term tenant. You're more likely to become profitable in your first 60 days. You can also be profitable before your first rent payment is due. And with multiple listings, you can quickly become an Airbnb millionaire. All right, so that's the blueprint. But once you start doing this on your own, you will very quickly realize that this is not passive at all. Nothing is truly passive until you make it passive. And if you stuck around this long, I have another gem for you. All right, Nomad takes care of all of this for you. They've already have fully operational vacation rentals for you to lease from them. They've done the market research, located the properties, negotiated with owners, converted the properties into a short-term rental, registered the property with the city and the state, professionally furnished and decorate, professionally photographed, list their properties on sites like Airbnb and VRBO, manage guests, the cleaners, pays rents, pays taxes, and pays you. Nomad makes investing into short-term rentals truly passive. So let me ask you this. If you had a team that could set up an Airbnb anywhere in the world, where would you put it?